So I'm going to make a quick video of how this is attached. You can see the Nomad up here coming down, and I have the straps coming down along the gas tank, and then underneath this plastic bit is there's a support beam here for the frame and for the seat. And so that's what I've actually zip tied the strap to, and I'll show that to you in a minute. The trick to that is making sure that you give enough play that you can get this strap set so that this plastic bit is kind of up over this ridge, up over this ridge, and I'll show you that here shortly. But I mean, you'll notice the plastics don't fit perfect after you do this install. There's a bit of a gap compared to where they sit stock, but they're in there pretty solid, reasonably so. And this way you don't have to remove plastics or seat to take the bag on or off. I mean, technically you could probably set this further back along the frame, somewhere under the seat if you wanted to, and then every time you wanted to remove it, you would need to remove the seat to take it off. So it kind of just depends on how you would perceive yourselves using the bag as to how you want to set it up. I wanted an easy on-off, so that's how I did it. The other bit you have to kind of figure out is what to do with all this extra strap. The strap, of course, is long enough to let you go down into the lower part of the frames. And when I first set it up, I actually ran it back here to the rear footrest bracket. And it was okay, but I didn't like having the strap under my leg. It wasn't uncomfortable. I don't know, I didn't like it. So, and there wasn't an easy way for me to run it under the plastics or do anything like that to get it out of the way. So that's when I started looking at this solution. But I mean, there's a multitude of ways you could attach it. Even thought about running the strap forward instead. But again, didn't really like that. So decided against it. So I went with this setup. Before I take that plastic off, here is the neck piece. I don't know how well you can see it. It runs down, and then there's a beam that comes out from underneath the gas tank, and that's what I've wrapped it around instead of around the full yoke. Their instructions say to actually do it around the yoke, but yeah, I like it better back here. Less likelihood I'm going to interfere with steering. And then you can see the straps, hopefully, here and here, and those can be released then to give access to the fuel cap. It sits pretty high. I know I've promised photos of me sitting on the bike with it, but I haven't gotten there yet. And so, I mean, you know, it's definitely right in your chest. So if you don't like that crowding or don't want that feel, definitely probably not the answer for you. Although this could easily be attached in a rear config of some sort. It could be more of a tail bag. The backpack features of this bag are nice, and its organization is really nice. So, and again, this is a Versys X300, so smaller bike. Yeah, on the big bikes, I'm sure this fits differently. So I'm going to go ahead and take the plastics off, and when you come back, I'll show you what this looks like. Okay, so now with the plastic off, you can see the panel that came off of there. Yeah, it was this piece that goes down along the bike. I only took one of them off. I'm not going to do both sides. But anytime I take these off, I double check all of these rubber grommets just to make sure they're seated well. They tend to move a good bit when you're putting the plastics on and off, and sometimes they get punched through, and for them to really do their job. Anyway, most of you already know that, so sorry for the Captain Obvious there. But anyway, so this is the strap setup. So the strap comes down off of the Nomad. Here's the buckle assembly. So this is your quick release assembly. This strap, the reason I haven't just cut it off is because it becomes your waist belt when you turn this into a backpack. And I'm not ready to give that feature up just yet. I may eventually, which means then I will. I'll just cut this strap down. I'll probably cut it down to its one length here, and then I won't have much hanging, but for right now it works okay the way I have it. But anyway, so this strap comes down, and then there's this strap assembly here that Mosko Moto gives you for attaching it to the bike. And a lot of times people attach this piece around lower body framework. But the problem is that what this bike has in lower body framework is not easily accessible because of the plastics. And so there are brackets and places you probably could attach it differently, and I'd be curious to hear if anybody else comes up with a different solution. I bought a whole extra batch of zip ties so I can play with it and move it around, but for right now this is where I like it. But anyway, so I put 2 zip ties in within this strap. There's 5 slots, and really 4 slots, and this slot exists, but it's not reinforced like these others are. So I attached 2 here. It gives this some play. But again, like I said, the real important part is to make sure this part of the strap is situated in this, this bevel area so that when the plastics press, or when you lock the plastics down, this doesn't pop your plastics off. So hopefully that all makes sense. If anybody has questions or wants to see more of this, let me know. I would show the other side, but taking the plastics on and off is a bitch. So on the other side, there is some slight differences in how this bracket is set. There's a couple of extra metal pieces you have to work around, but the concept is the same. Again, you set it so that this bit hits in such a way that your plastics work. So anyway, sorry if I rambled on a bit. Hopefully this video helps any of you trying to decide whether the Mosko Moto Nomad is for you. I love it. It's working great for me. It lets me carry my kitchen, basically. So this is where all my food, my cooking, my coffee, my kitchen stuff sits in here. I don't photograph or video while I ride. And then I have the Reckless 80 on the back. Really love this setup with the modular components, with the harness that I can then put my bags in. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting it out and really giving it a shakedown for all my gear. Then I have the 25-liter duffel that I actually put on the back rack. It's not there right now. And I also got the tool roll, the fatty tool roll. And so literally I just have my tool set for working on the bike, and that's my toolkit. I can throw it on the bike, take it with me, or I can pull it off the bike. Excuse me. Take it off the bike, leave it in the shop, and work on my bike. So I'm going to put my plastics back together and post this video, and I hope it helps any of you that are really thinking about this bag. Bye.